Hey guys, welcome back to LOI Fan TV, and we're back today with a bit of a different video. We're touching off international football. Heimer's men are taking on Senegal on Friday at the Aviva Stadium, and then they're taking on Luxembourg next week. So yeah, once again, I'm joined by Ross. Ross, how are you?
All good, Luke. All good. Yeah, in Bali currently. So yeah, life could definitely be a lot worse. How's all your end?
All good, yeah, all good. A bit of a change now with the international football, but Shamrock Rovers, we're still talking about them when Ireland are playing. You know what I mean? It's just the usual.
Sure, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Be
How many
interesting to
Shells
see
players
if
got called
he.
up?
I think if Conor Kearns wasn't injured, he would have been definitely in with a shout. And Cameron Edwards, very unlucky. Very unlucky, I
What
think.
about that block of butter in his hands? Is that why he's out injured when he slip on it?
Uh, and if Kieran McEnroy was Irish, he'd be captain probably. So.
He probably would be, exactly. He won't be captain if Stephen Bradley was manager.
Yeah. Best midfielder in
Yes,
the country. Best midfielder in the country.
but sixth place, yeah, exactly. But anyways, that's besides the point. We're diverting. Yeah. So Ireland are hosting Senegal on Friday, and our first kind of now I wonder how strong this Senegal team's going to be. I don't know if you heard much about this, but obviously your first team are
Uh,
hosting from Africa.
what I have heard is that Sadio Mane is out. I'm not sure what the reason is for him being out, but he is going to be missing the game, and it's kind of I'm kind of glad in a way that all like the Liverpool like the Liverpool dweeb fans will be missing out on seeing him. They'll be absolutely devastated. They won't have their signs saying "Mane, please give me your shirt." Jonathan Morley will be crying into his cornflakes. So no, I'm happy enough that he's missing the game, to be honest.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah. I feel a bit torn. I'm coming around to Heimer. I don't know what, and this is not just because Josh Honahan is in the Ireland squad. It's not. It's no. I
It's
know
not
you're.
really, yeah.
No, it's not to do with it. No, but like in last year, like when he came with that Rover stuff, I was really, really didn't like him. And I was like, who's this, this plonker? Like, get back, giving root canals. Don't be managing our team. But now I'm at the stage where I'm like, you know what? Like every Friday, and we're going back to League of Ireland again. But like he really is making an effort, and you have to respect
No,
it.
he
Like,
is, to be fair.
and even with this
No,
squad, like
100%.
calling up like Joe Patrick Finn and Josh Keeley and like even Killian Phillips, like, and you listen to him talk about these players, whereas before, John O'Shea being in the press conference, like, he's really bought into it, and I love as well the way he's talking about the World Cup. He's like, well, next summer, it's good to play Senegal because next summer we're going to be going to the World Cup. Like, it's refreshing. I like him.
No, it
He's all
is.
right.
It is. Now he does come across well, and he's kind of charismatic, and he's kind of likable, isn't he? Really, I suppose. And
Yeah.
yeah, no, the way he speaks is positive, and he's definitely making an effort. I think he's living in Ireland and all, isn't he? So like, he isn't putting in a lot of effort and stuff. So no, I have been impressed. To be fair, I think he's come across really well, and he seems like a decent skin. And it's a big test, as he's kind of pointed out. Obviously, kind of Senegal, they still do have the likes of your kind of Edouard Mendy and goal, Koulibaly be playing. I think you man Pape Sarr from Spurs be there, so they have kind of a better squad than us. You'd say on paper, but probably not a huge amount in it. But probably is a little bit stronger than ours. And I think they're in good form. I think they're unbeaten in 14 games, Senegal as well. So it's a really really good test for this Irish side ahead of kind of going into these World Cup qualifiers, which are obviously massive. So I think in that, speaking on that, like I think he will be trying to field maybe as close to his side as possible to what he thinks he's going to be fielding in the qualifiers, because he wants to see let the team gel and see what he's working with.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that one. I certainly think against Senegal, we're probably going to play a stronger team. I think Luxembourg are probably a bit more of a
Yeah,
experimental side. And so this is a great opportunity kind of against a solid team, as you said, like let's be honest, on paper they are better than us. So why not? Let's have a crack. Let's see how we get on. Like obviously we turned over Bulgaria, the Nations League playoff. So maybe looking to build a bit of momentum from that, and yeah, looking to really push on ahead of these crucial qualifiers in the autumn. But I suppose
yeah.
we were saying about picking a potential starting 11 for this game, which would be a bit of crack. But I suppose kind of when I think of in goals, I wonder if Queevy and Kelleher is going to be back in time. Obviously, he's just completed a move to Brentford. What you make of that one?
Yeah, I think it's a great move from. I think it's fantastic. I think he's back training and stuff, so I'd imagine he'll be fine to play. I think he's back, and he's back in with the squad and stuff, so I think he'll be fine. But yeah, I think it's a great move. I think he needed the move, didn't he? Really, to he's had a good few years there, at Liverpool. And it's great from on a personal note to kind of have those medals behind him. Obviously, won them already in his career, and have Premier League and Champions League medals and stuff. something they can tell the grandkids about, isn't it? Really, but I think it's fine from 26 years of age now, coming into a good age. Still young for a goalkeeper, but a good age to kind of get out. That playing first team football, I think it's essential. And it's only a good thing for Ireland as well, heading into the World Cup next year, that he gets a full year of Premier League football under his belt.
Yeah, yeah, I fully agree. Decent fee as well. What, 12 million rising to
Yeah,
18 and a half? Like, I thought
and
that was
that's like
fairly
a year
okay.
left in his deal as well. So like that's why
Yeah,
it's so, like it could easily been ton of 30 plus nearly.
yeah, no, it makes sense when you think about the year left, but yeah, it's certainly a solid deal for Brentford, and he'll play there, and it's not like he's going to. I say he's being linked with Leeds and stuff. He'd probably be in a relegation battle if he went down there.
Yeah,
Whereas like at Brentford, I know if Thomas Frank stays or goes, we don't know, but like he's Nathan Collins there, and that'll be good for us as well. And yeah, I really feel good. I feel like it's a really good move for him. Yeah, I'm really kind of excited to see how he gets on next season.
100%, 100%. I think we can both agree that on him and goal anyway
Yeah,
for this
exactly.
team.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
picks himself, especially Max O'Leary and Josh Keeley as the other two goalies.
All
Yeah,
had
they're
good
just
seasons to be fair. The other two, didn't they? I think
yeah,
Max O'Leary
yeah,
was a Bristol playoff. I think got into playoffs with them, and then Josh
yeah.
Keeley was in playoffs with Leighton Orient. I think got
Leighton,
to the final maybe
exactly.
today, League One. So decent seasons for
Ex-
both. To be fair,
Yeah, yeah. No, we're embarrassed when the riches in goals. So yeah, no. Yeah, but then again, Queven Keller is a level above, isn't he? So
yeah.
he kind of picks himself. I suppose then if we're going for back four, are we?
Yeah, I think Heimer's. I think he will kind of opt for that kind of 4-4-2. It looks like he's kind of settling on that. I think we've won our last couple of games, haven't we? I think so. I think the 4-4-2 is what he will kind of go, kind of stick to back to basics a little bit. You might look at a 4-3-3, but I think 4-4-2 is probably what he'll go with. But back four definitely, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And Seamus Coleman pulled out of the camp, didn't he?
He did.
So,
He did. Yeah. So
so,
your rifle options are kind of Matt Doherty, Jake O'Brien, Josh Honan maybe as well, or Dara O'Shea possibly. You're probably looking at Jake O'Brien and Matt Doherty realistically.
yeah, you're my Matt Doherty, but I'd rather put Jacob. I don't know how I know how you're feeling, but I think
Yeah.
if Jacob Ryan's playing there for Everton, like why isn't he playing there for Ireland? I'd rather give him a run there than maybe an aging Doherty who, played to be fair, he played well against Bulgaria, but going
Yeah.
forward, like for over the next 2 years, like Jacob Ryan's probably the better investment in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially looking towards next summer as well. You'd imagine get Jake O'Brien get him slotted into the back four. You think he's a realistic kind of player that could be, if he's playing week in week out in the Premier League, there's no real reason why he shouldn't be playing right back for us. So, yeah, I think that's a no brainer. I'd slot him in. It's nice to have a big kind of strong centre half, full back. It's kind of become the new trend, really, isn't it? To have kind of big back four. I think it suits the way Heimer will play as well. It's kind of good, solid defensive base. I think O'Brien there does the job.
Yeah, spot on, and obviously then moving on to centre half, I think Nathan Collins kind of picks himself. It's just a matter of who goes
Yeah.
beside him, isn't it?
I think Nathan Collins was one of the only people in the Premier League to play. I think he played every minute in the Premier League, so you'd imagine he'll play this one. And as I say, he could see him getting an arrest maybe for Luxembourg potentially if this game goes to plan or whatever. But yeah, you're probably looking at Amabamadiele's in the squad, Liam Scales in the squad. The one I'd probably be leaning towards is Dara O'Shea. I know he was relegated with Ipswich, but I think he actually had a really good season. And I think his next move needs to be to like that a Brentford type or someone a little bit more established in Premier League rather than these kind of teams that are yo-yoing up in, like a
Mm,
Burnley, some from Burnley to Ipswich, and he just needs that move to that team slightly above, like a Palace or a Brentford or Brighton or something. You know, a team that's kind of established. He's more than good enough, I think, and I think he'd be my pick for alongside Collins.
yeah, yeah, no, I'd agree with that. Obviously, like Liam Scales has come back into the fold at Celtic, so he's probably another contender there as well. Yeah, I was reading on Dara Shea earlier on. They were saying that Ipswich are more than happy, like they have the finances to keep him there, and I think it's their priority to keep him there. Kieran McKenna wants to be part of an next team, which is a shame from an Ireland perspective because he is good enough. But I suppose when we're
Yeah,
looking at it from a neutral, it doesn't look the best for him. Obviously getting relegated with Burnley and then letting relegate with Ipswich as a centre half. But like that's not a fair representation of who he is as a player. But I just think maybe he might struggle for that move this summer. I don't know.
he
It's
probably
it's
signed a
uh,
long-term deal or something last year. I'd say.
yeah, exactly. And I say this financially, he probably suits him. And let's be honest, like we see how the Premier League goes. Like if Kieran McKenna stays with Ipswich and they get a replacement for Liam Goat, they probably will come back up.
Yeah,
So
probably. Yeah,
maybe like
they
it's
kind
just
of
tough.
built that. They kind of bought the best of the best from the championship up with them. Like they bought Jack Clark and all that. Like kind of a load of championship.
Yeah,
Like Bennett coming back and all for them as well. Like so,
yeah.
yeah, they'll be right up there again next season. You'd imagine. But it's just a shame going into the World Cup they'd be playing in the championship.
I know it is a shame. Yeah, it is. But I think I agree with those centre half options now. A left back. Do we do Robbie Player of the Year? Want to see that one?
Player of the year, yes.
You
Yeah.
agree with that one?
I think he put it best himself, didn't he, in his
Yeah.
acceptance speech to say that. I think he said this shows how shy the rest of you have been, really, and I think he's spot on. But to be fair to him, like he did well, and he did deserve it. But yeah, it's just funny that that's the kind of state of affairs really for Ireland in 2024. That he's the best we've got. Like
Yeah, it's a mad one. Like what's the criteria for winning that award? Like, because like I look at
I
Nathan
don't know, to be
Collins,
honest.
it doesn't make sense to me really. I think Nathan Collins is probably our best player at the moment, outfielder wise.
It
So
doesn't
yeah,
take club form into account, does it? I assume it doesn't take any of that. It's just your international form. But I think it was Nathan Collins and Queeveen Keller, the two other nominees, I think, or something. I don't know.
yeah, something like that. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, whatever, whatever. So yeah, no. To be fair,
Do you think Brady will still be playing next summer at the World Cup? Like, do you think he's still in the
I
squad?
think he'll hang in. I think he'll hang in. Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw he signed a new deal there at Preston, so I
yeah.
think he will hang in there. Like what are your other options? Obviously, Josh Honahan there.
I
Um,
think
I,
Josh
I
Honan could get a run out against Luxembourg. I think it's the Senegal game is probably a stretch too far, but
yeah,
it'd be great to see him get a
yeah,
run out against Luxembourg.
yeah. I know you've Ryan Manning there in the squad. Ryan Manning's in the squad. I see him there.
He's down as a forward, which is strange, but I just like he's been playing left back all season. He's down as a forward, which is very weird. Like, but
Stories of him. It's a bit of a shame because he was like very well regarded championship player, got his prem move, and just hasn't been seen since with Southampton.
no,
So
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I agree with that back four though. That back four looks pretty looks very
You could
complete.
push. You could argue a case for pushing Scales out to left full, or maybe Doherty playing left full. I could actually see him maybe going with Doherty, but I think I'd go Brady myself anyway.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, the only variable is Jacob Ryan at right back. I can see him going with Doherty at right back. But like
Maybe,
I'm
yeah,
happy with
yeah,
that back four that we picked. I think that's solid
yeah,
enough. But yeah, then
yeah.
moving
Same.
into midfield, who do you have?
Do you want to start right inside of midfield? Maybe I think it's probably quite straightforward with Festi. I'd say he impressed in the Nations League and has done well. I think is he gone to Turkey now recently? I think it was the latest move to
Yeah,
Istanbul back this year. I think, which is an
yeah.
interesting one. So, yeah, I think he's a really good player, and I do prefer him at right back really, but I suppose he offers you kind of protection for O'Brien in front of him and can contribute as well. So maybe as part of Heimer's kind of formation, I think ideally you get Ogbene back heading into the World Cup, but I think Fessi's a good backup option and a versatile player down that right hand side. So it'd be good to get him more minutes.
Yeah, he probably picks himself up right now, but when Ogbene's back, I agree. Just get a bit of raw pace there, maybe, and it kind of gives you the option as well to go
Yeah,
into a back five if you have something to hold on to. So
yeah.
yeah, I see the logic. I see the logic there. Yeah, I think he picks himself. As far as kind of, I see here now, Sammy Smodics is back in the squad after. Would he have a long-term injury? He was out for a fair while,
He
wasn't he?
was because I saw he got removed from the squad. He's back in the squad, is he? Yeah.
Oh no, no, never mind. I'm looking at my thing's outdated. My thing's
I
outdated.
think Yeah, I don't think he's in it, unfortunately, because kind of the rest of the midfield options are it's pretty. It's not great, especially on the left hand side. It's grim enough. Like you're probably looking at obviously Ryan Manning down as a forward. You play him left mid. You could argue that Brady could go there. Um, maybe I was looking at Andrew Moore maybe playing out there. Obviously called up to the squad, possibly push out to the left. Both in
yeah.
slim pickings like
Yeah, it's a tough one. Like, yeah, Jason
Casey
Knight's gonna.
McAteer.
Yeah, Casey McAteer. I don't know. Jeez, we're really scraping the barrel. Oh my
It's
God,
grim. It's
it's
grim.
actually
Because Jason
miserable.
Jason Knight has to play in central midfield. Do you think? Because he's
Him and
the only kind of established one there. You feel him and Smallbone
feeling
maybe.
him and Smallbone are kind of a shoe, and like you look at everyone else, Jack Taylor, yeah, like in and out of Ipswich. Killian Phillips kind of his first call up, him and John Joe Patrick Finn first call up too. So it kind of goes very senior to very junior, very quick. So yeah, those two
Doesn't
kind
it?
of
Yeah.
man the center of the park. And then but on the left, I actually don't know who was on the left. Like Ryan
It's
Manning, really?
really
Is that it? Is that
it's so bad, isn't it? Like it's so grim. Uh, yeah, I'd nearly go Andy Moore and just give him a lash in the left, to be honest.
yeah.
But it's really tough. Like
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, him or McAteer. Probably
mm.
probably McAteer is probably naturally more of a right sided midfielder. You'd like to have him coming off the bench. So yeah, no, I go more and probably yeah. More why not?
Yeah,
As
no,
I
it's not.
said,
He's more of a 10. He's more of a 10 usually, but I suppose you could just give him a chance to.
A
do
similar,
something.
like if we're going off profiles, like Benny to Festi and then Sammy Smodics to Moore, like it's kind of similar enough, isn't it? Like if you want to kind of,
Yeah,
get the squad used to that style of play, like yeah. So yeah, no, I'm happy with Moore
yeah,
in left mid.
yeah. Cool. So we go Festi, Knight, Smallbone, Moore across the four in midfield.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good. So then I suppose moving into the 10 position, the striker. Do you think you'll go two up top with kind of the options here? Or do you think you kind of do one behind the other?
Yeah, I think you probably got two up top.
Mm.
It's probably looking like a take your pick between Parrott, Ida, and Fergie. I'd nearly have Parrott as the shoe in there based off the season with AZ.
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. And Parra can kind of do a few bits as well. He can kind of drop into that
You can
deeper
drop in
role,
behind. Yeah,
link and
yeah,
play.
yeah,
To be honest, I know Evan Ferguson scored against Bulgaria, but he just doesn't really warrant a start for me at the moment. Like he's just, and I feel sorry for him because obviously he's had his injury problems and he's kind of got thrown out of Brighton into West Ham, which are in limbo too. But
yeah,
Adam Idah scored 20 goals at Celtic, and as much as he isn't their starting striker there, like that has to be taken into account. Like Idah and Parrott are playing every week, whereas Ferguson probably isn't. So I'd probably lean towards those two. Like, what do you reckon?
yeah. The only thing that's making me think of Ferguson is that like I think Heimer likes him, and I think by the end of this season, I think Ferguson could be way more of a shoe-in than Ida for this squad, and
Yeah.
like, is that his man? Maybe he just wants to stand by him and give him a few minutes and maybe give him a platform to kind of put a marker down for his move this summer. You imagine might be a few scouts watching the games and looking to see what he's got. So maybe Heimer is going to do him a favor and give him a couple of starts because he badly needs them, So this is hard to know, but I think as you say, it is hard to kind of justify it when you have two strikers. I think they both scored 20 goals this season, haven't they? So it's kind of hard to justify anything else. So I personally would lean towards Parrott and Ida, but I can see a world where Heimer kind of throws Ferguson in there to give him some minutes and to get himself in the shop window.
Yeah, because Ferguson will be on the move this summer, and a goal or two in these games would really help his stock. So yeah, no,
100%. Yeah.
I could definitely see that, but yeah, there we have it, guys. There's the starting 11 for Ireland versus Senegal. I suppose before we let you go, Ross, predictions wise, what do you reckon?
Friction, well, it's impossible to know, isn't it? I think I'll go for a score draw, 1-1. Don't think that'd be the worst result in the world, and it'd be a decent game, hopefully. Decent performance more than anything. Be good to see.
Yeah, and I can see that as well. I'm probably gonna go a few more goals, and I'll probably go 2-all. I think it'll be one of those games. I'll say they'll probably take the lead, we'll be taking the lead, and then they'll equalise, something like that. But a good exercise
Yeah,
nonetheless against good opposition. So I'm kind of, to be honest, I'm happy with this friendly. Like the Senegal one especially. Like it's definitely I think it's outside the box. It's the sort of games we need like for preparation. Like, I'm sick of the usual
yeah,
friendly to be lined up like against teams that really we won't be playing if we get to a decent level. So it's
yeah.
good.
No, 100%, 100%. It's a good test, and then the Luxembourg game gives us a chance to rotate then because there's a lot of players, Knight and Collins, who played a lot of football this season that need a bit of a break. So it'd be good to see John Joe Patrick, Finn, Honohan, a lot of players like that given an opportunity to shine in that one. So I think it's a nice blend of two games that give us kind of do two different tests, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. I think a good result from this camp would be, just don't lose this game, get something out of it against Senegal, then go and beat Luxembourg. And I think really we're on our way then towards the
Yeah,
qualifiers.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
So yeah, so there we have it, guys. And there's our preview to the Ireland versus Senegal game, a bit there in Luxembourg too. Yeah, look, if you're new, please subscribe, leave a like in the video. Let's try to get to 30 likes for this preview. And yeah, put in your comments what you think your starting 11 would be, or if there's any players that weren't called up, do you think should have been called up? Let us know too, and we'll get back to you in the comments. But
Cameron Edwards.
Cameron Edwards, yeah, exactly. Don't comment that. Exactly. Sam Ross. Cheers. Chat to you again.
Take it easy, guys. Thanks, Luke.